Have any of you seen this image yet? This is one of my favorite images. This is an uncolor touched-up photo of the Cassini mission. There's no color touch-up. This is a picture. This is a solar eclipse. The sun is directly behind Saturn. See a little piece of the sun right there? And that dot right there is planet Earth. Check it out, right there. Can you see that? That's planet Earth. We're looking through the rings of Saturn to see Earth in the distance. Talk about a perspective shift. Every transformation of humanity has rested upon deep stirrings of the intuition, whose rationalized expression amounts to a new vision of the cosmos and the nature of the human. This is another one of my favorite images here. I want to move and talk about the fall and original sin from the perspective of evolutionary psychology, evolutionary brain science, evolutionary ethics and morality, and human universals. As a result of new technology, oh, and by the way, remember when I talked before about the nested, emergent nature of divine creativity? The Apostle Paul could not have known this. God could not have possibly revealed it to the Apostle Paul, or to anybody living 2,000 years ago. In fact, had those kinds of insights been revealed, and those people had written about it, the men in the 3rd and 4th centuries that, who tried to discern which of these many gospels and epistles were authentic, they would have never discerned that these were authentic. They would have just said it was bizarre. So we now have technology. So those understandings, this nested nature of reality, could not have been revealed prior to telescopes, microscopes, and computers. And now we have an understanding of original sin in the fall that could not have been revealed until we had functional MRIs. See, what this does is this allows us to see how the human brain is working, which parts of the brain are working, where there's blood flow, when people are thinking and fantasizing and fearing and all the other things that we do with our brains. See, we have very little evidence, as I said before, of an all-knowing, supreme, intelligent designer outside the universe that figured out the perfect brain for human beings to thrive in this world. We have tremendous evidence that our brain evolved in an additive sort of way. You've got the most ancient part of our brain, the reptilian part of our brain, the old mammalian brain, the new mammalian brain, and the most advanced part of the brain. This here, the reptilian brain, is the brain stem and the cerebellum. It's the part of our brain that, when you fall and you just catch yourself, and you didn't even have to think about it. Your body just instinctually caught yourself, and you think to yourself, whoa, that was pretty good. Yeah? It's the part of your brain that knows how to get hungry, that knows how to breathe, that knows how to get horny. It's the part of your brain that takes care of the things about reproduction and survival that you don't have to think about. The old mammalian brain is the limbic system, it's the hippocampus, it's the amygdala, it's the hypothalamus. It's the part of our brain that comes into being with mammals. See, this all mammals and all reptiles have, but only mammals have this. And it's the part of our brain that's about nurturing, care, consideration, bonding. The new mammalian brain is the neocortex. And the neocortex, only 2 new drives come into being with the neocortex. The drive to comprehend and the drive to predict. Now, comprehend and predict for what? Like, why would evolution produce an organ that was really good at comprehending and predicting? Well, so that these parts of the brain can get what they want more effectively. It's why we are masters of self-deception. We are gifted at rationalizing. In fact, I've heard it likened that these 2 parts of the brain are like an elephant. And this part of the brain is like a human rider on top of the elephant with reins. Now, picture a huge elephant with a little human rider with reins, right? Now, the rider thinks it's in control. But the rider is only in fact in control if the elephant doesn't have strong desires of its own. Like, let's say the elephant wants to go in that direction because there's an elephant of the opposite sex in that direction, or because there's food or water in that direction. The rider always has to make up meaning. That's what this part of the brain does. It's a meaning making. It's interpreting. And so let's say the elephant wants to go this direction. For whatever reason the elephant wants to go that direction. The rider will always say something like this. We're going this way because And the because may have nothing to do with why the elephant's going that way. And then the most recent part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, or the frontal lobes, this is the part of our brain that's all about, it's the executive center, it's good judgment or bad judgment. It's the part of our brain that only develops when we're about 23 to 25 years old. Insurance companies know this. It's why it's so much more expensive to get insured before the age of 25, because this part of the brain isn't fully developed. So now Connie, my wife, is always trying to find fun, playful ways to talk about this to teenagers and to young people. And so we've created some fun ways to do this. Okay? We've got our reptilian brain, which we call our lizard legacy. Right? The old mammalian brain is our furry little mammal. The new mammalian brain is the monkey mind, and the advanced brain is our higher porpoise. So let me talk about these just for a minute. Again, our lizard legacy is all the concerns with sex, safety, sustenance, survival, right? Fur little mammal, love, kinship, play, nurturing, bonding, status. The monkey mind is always trying to figure it out, think about the past, think about the future, worry about this, plan that, right? Comprehend, predict. This is a term that comes out of Buddhism. It's, the monkey jumps from branch to branch, eats a little fruit, eats a little fruit. It's kind of like our thinking. Our rational mind is rarely in the present moment. We're in the past, we're in the future, we're rarely here now. That's what meditation is all about. Stilling the voice of the mind to come into the present moment. And then our higher purpose is obviously our sense of higher purpose. It's God's will. It's our higher power. It's a commitment. It's our marriage vows. In fact, it's everything to do with commitment and focus and intention. It can override these if it becomes conscious of them, or if there's a strong enough commitment.